So now that the awning and everything is set to roll it up, you just start. It's spring loaded, so it goes pretty easy, but you can just kind of help it along with your hand and just make sure it stays centered on the roller. That'll save you some grief once it gets up here, and it just pops right into place. And you'll see sometimes, like those arms we said, you just push them in, get them in there. Same on this side. So this side here, the tape part, I didn't quite drop it down. We want to be just down about another ½ an inch or so, because you see the awning sitting a little high there. So you want to be just at the, when you do that, just at the top of that tape. And there we go. The tape is just buried in there. So now that awning is in place. We just give it a shove over so there's a little bit of space there. And make sure there's a little space. There's a lot of space here, so you can push it over a little more. And we just push the bar up. Everything's good. And the awning, you just kind of make sure it's in there. Pull down nice and tight. Everything's up in there nice and snug. It's good. Now it'll stay open a little bit at this point. Once you fold the arms in, it'll close up completely. So we go back down to the bottom, and remember these are locked right to where the tape is. But now we're gonna unlock the bottom. We're gonna pull that out. Yeah, we're gonna loosen these. Sorry, forgot that step. Now we loosen them now that that's up there, and we just pull that out. So now that'll move up and down freely. So now in here there's a little spot in there. You'll see on the end of this post there's a little piece of metal that comes out, and there's a little slot in there, and that locks that hole. Sorry. So that's gonna, see if you can see that in there. See if I can get focused on it. But it just sits in that little slot, and that's gonna lock that awning in place. And same thing, we come up here. These are spring loaded, so you can just, there's a little slot for those. They'll slide right in, locked in place. So everything's locked in there now. We'll do the same with this side. This time though, we're gonna loosen this properly before we do anything. And of course, pop the bottom out. And we just go up, make sure that's gonna sit in that slot. Up there, it's in the slot. That's good. And over here, normally I would have that pole with it in here, but of course I'm trying to do everything one-handed, so that just goes in there, pops up in place, spring loaded, everything's locked. Now you can see that see how the awning, it closes up for travel, so you don't have to worry about any air or water getting in there. So that's all. That's the awning. I probably made it look more difficult than it needs to be. When I'm setting it up, it's like 5 minutes and it's all set up. But explaining things takes a little longer. But yeah, that was a really nice addition, getting one of these Catalina 2500s for the Apache bonus.